Buongiorno a tutti, con il vostro Anthony che vi parla e oggi incominceremo la live di un altro gioco. Dunque ragazzi, stavolta ho preferito prendere un gioco abbastanza tranquillo, anche perché purtroppo gli impegni di lavoro mi stanno portando via tanto tempo. Oggi inizieremo con CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, ed è un gioco per PlayStation 3 che si chiama CSI Cospirazione Letale. Quindi noi adesso inizieremo questo gioco. A dire la verità, io il video l'avevo già fatto, però volevo terminare, diciamo, il caso, perché ci sono 5 casi in questo gioco. Volevo terminare il primo caso entro, diciamo, in una live, in un video. Solo che purtroppo ho scoperto che il mio tablet con cui registro non supporta più di un'ora e mezza di registrazione continua. Quindi lo sto rifacendo e faremo come nel classico modo, nel senso che dopo circa un'ora di gioco interromperò la live e poi proseguiremo pian piano con il gameplay più avanti. Ok, ora adesso inizieremo. Iniziamo con Scegli il caso. Episodio 1, carne al sangue, nuova partita, via.
The place was called Superlative Spa. It was a full-service establishment. Massage tables, lawn chairs, mud baths, etc. Explosion went off a little after 3. The squad car was 2 blocks away when the place went up, so the fire department was able to respond within 4 minutes. Not that it helps. Engulfed by the time they arrived. It was like they contained just the door.
I didn't know there was a spa down here.
Buildings in Houston, like said, there's one of the spots on the gate. The gentleman in the corner there is Pete Buck. His company owns Supposed. I took his statement, but you'll want to follow up with him. Have you two met yet?
Not officially. I'm Sarah Seidel. The team speaks very highly of you. You want to take that interview?
Ok ragazzi, allora, prima di tutto questo è il nostro telefonino. Ora però abbasso un po' l'audio, la musica almeno, perché si sentono un po' più i dialoghi. Ok, salvataggio in corso. Allora, in questo, diciamo, qui telefonino, qui raccogliamo le prove, che non ce ne abbiamo, poi ci sono i luoghi dove c'è la scena del delitto, ce ne sono vari, e poi abbiamo il laboratorio dove possiamo analizzare le prove, l'ufficio di Brass, che è una specie di pubblico ministero, ci dà le autorizzazioni, insomma, tutte quelle cose nel campo legale, ecco, nel campo delle leggi, come posso dire, I mandati, ecco. Poi abbiamo l'obitorio dove c'è il medico legale che farà l'autopsia e poi abbiamo la sala interrogatori dove possiamo interrogare testimoni o sospettati. Allora, qui adesso nel primo caso ci sarà questa bella ragazza che ci accompagna. Allora, prima di tutto parliamo con questo qua.
Hi, Pedro Baja. Baja, like Baja California. But call me Pete. Everyone does. Well, almost everyone.
You in charge of this place, Pete?
I'm the CEO of Miel LLC. It's less impressive than it sounds. It's basically a holding company for a few mom-and-pop style businesses that were worth rescuing when the original owners wanted out. The company owns Super La Spa, what's left of it.
Ok. Facciamo un po' di domande.
The claims adjuster when we release the scene.
Actually, this is kind of embarrassing, but the policy on this place has lapsed.
You let the fire insurance on one of your businesses expire?
It's complicated. We sent them a payment, but they said they didn't get it. Then they wanted us to pay a late fee and raise our premium. I mean, we've done business with them for years, and now they decide to penalize us over a little slip-up?
Ok, parleremo più
I have
tardi.
some things I need to take care of. Here's my card, at least until the next board meeting. You can reach me at my office.
Ok, allora, mi sono dimenticato di far vedere una cosa. Intanto ci avete dato il biglietto da visita. Allora, sui dossier ci sono anche, vedete, la vittima, i sospettati, le statistiche, va bene, le ricostruzioni, i vari video e le mail. Allora, per prima cosa, visto che questo qua ci ha dato il suo biglietto da visita, siamo molto furbi, iniziamo a prendergli le impronte digitali. Ci ha dato il biglietto da visita, perché non prendere le impronte digitali, no?
It was nice of Mr. Baja to give us a
Ecco.
like that.
Poi non solo, come vedete, nelle prove, una volta che abbiamo completato di analizzare una prova completamente, compare la V. Quindi vuol dire che con questi non abbiamo più niente a che fare. Allora, dunque, andiamo avanti qua.
We should take samples of soot from all around this place to see if we can find traces of an accelerant.
Ok. Oh, qui c'è qualcosa. Qui ci serve un calco.
Look at how it's burned away from its frame. Drywall is usually fire resistant. Those holes could be there to let more air fan the fire and get to that wooden frame underneath. That could indicate arson, but we'll need a lot more evidence to prove it.
Ok. Beh, qui c'è qualcosa.
One mud bath contains a lot more mud than the others. It might just be the way they do it. But the one next to it is filled only up to the line on the side of the tub. That mud is baked solid. We're going to need a way to examine it inside and out without actually breaking it up and compromising potential evidence. You know, the other day, Catherine was telling me that we have access to an industrial ultrasound device. It sounds perfect for this problem. I'll give her a call.
Now we're living in the future. I'm still waiting for my flying car, but seeing through walls isn't too shabby.
I have a rough idea, but remind me again how the device works.
Just turn it on and point the wand at whatever you want to scan. Sound waves it emits penetrate at different speeds depending on the density of the material.
And the onboard computer translates that into a picture, is that right?
You got it. I don't think I need to tell you to be careful with it, but be careful with it.
Ok, usiamo questo aggeggio qua. Vediamo un po'. C'è qualcosa qui. Ma ragazzi, mi sa che questo è un corpo. Eh sì, c'è un cadavere qua dentro.
Does that look like a human body to you? It looks like we have a victim after all. I'll call Doc Robbins for a pickup.
Cleaning her off is just the first step. This is going to take a while. I'll give you a call when I have something for you.
Let's head back to the crime scene. See what else we can turn up.
Ok.
You'll have to forgive me. Baking the victim in mud and then exhuming her aren't exactly the ingredients for the most efficient autopsy. I'll give you a call when I have something for you.
Va bene ragazzi, allora il medico ha detto che deve ripulire il corpo, di togliere prima il fango, quindi non può fare l'autopsia. Noi ritorniamo al luogo del delitto, perché ci sono altre prove. Questo invece è il salone ufficio di Pete Bazza, quello è il testimone, diciamo, il sospettato che abbiamo parlato prima. Ok, noi siamo di nuovo qua, adesso andiamo in giro ad analizzare. Qui c'è qualcosa. Ad analizzare la scena del crimine.
I think if we can get one more sample of soot after this.
Ok, ce ne serve un altro. Vediamo un po'. Cos'è qua?
Popcorn style ceiling. Hold your breath while you're taking that sample. If it's as old as it looks, it's probably got asbestos in it.
Bene, c'è pure dell'amianto qui. A posto siamo. Qua?
This thing was on last night. We could have our ignition source.
Forno a microonde, cos'è che c'è?
It's hard to tell what this was. Not much left of it. Judging from the charring in the inside of the oven, it was in there for long enough to catch fire. It's almost like a timed fuse. So far, that's two things that point to arson. We'll need more evidence to be sure.
Ok. Andiamo di qua. Ancora fuliggine.
We gathered soot from all over this place. Should be enough.
Ok. Qui c'è un tubo rotto. Prendiamo un carico.
Look at the crimping along the edges of the split gas line. I'd say it was cut. That's the third sign of possible arson we found. I'm almost convinced.
Ok, allora mi sa che abbiamo preso tutto. Sì, vedete? Non l'ha detto, però quando c'è la B vuol dire che non abbiamo più indizi da prendere. Allora abbiamo preso tutto quello che ci serviva qua, bisogna andare adesso al laboratorio, non possiamo fare altro. Ok, lì c'è un ascensore che non ce ne facciamo niente. Allora, qui c'è un macchinario per il video e l'audio, questo qua di sinistra, qua a destra c'è un altro, impronte digitali, ok, va bene, virus, scansione virus, ok, impronte, database medico e analisi da computer tipo hard disk, robe varie. Intanto vediamo se il nostro amico... No, niente. Non possiamo farlo qua, cioè nel senso dobbiamo trovare un qualcosa che corrisponde. Va bene, allora dunque andiamo qui, questo serve il microscopio, Vedete il microscopio, noi qui possiamo mettere un tipo di prova che è questo. Ecco qua, vedete, c'è già un buon indizio. Ci sono tutti questi segni, quindi dobbiamo trovare un qualcosa che abbia quei segni, una pinza o qualcosa. Poi qui, ok, e adesso andiamo nell'altro macchinario, che è questo qua. Questo è un macchinario. Che palle sto virus, non ci sono i virus nei computer della polizia, vabbè, il DNA e la chimica. Allora, noi abbiamo un po' di prove, tutte queste qua, quindi cominciamo. Ok, questa è giusta. Ecco qua, vediamo che cos'è.
There's quite a bit of carbon from where it burned, but there's also wheat flour, tapioca starch, and sodium carboxymethylcellulose. What I'm not seeing are any animal proteins. You know what? I think this is a vegan pastry of some kind. A muffin from the size of it.
Ok, poi vediamo questo, sostanza chimica proveniente dal soffitto dell'SPA. Ok, ecco qua.
It's primarily calcium sulfate and asbestos. That explains why the ceiling didn't burn.
In effetti sì, il soffitto non ha preso fuoco. Allora, incominciamo ad analizzare tutti gli altri 3 campioni di forigine. Questo è uno.
It's mostly carbon, but there are traces of volcanic minerals and acetone. The mud at the spot is made of volcanic ash. The acetone is an anomaly. Acetone is sometimes used as an accelerant. We should test the rest of the soot we've collected.
Ok, analizziamo anche gli altri, come ha detto lei, che sono tutti diversi fra di loro, quindi perfetto.
The soot from the break room contains carbon, acetone, and T-butyl mercaptan. That's the odorant they use in natural gas. That's the second sample of soot to contain acetone. Let's keep analyzing the soot samples we've collected. I think we're onto something.
Ok, la nostra collega si chiama Sara, perché abbiamo visto adesso dai sottotitoli. Ok, manca questo. Sì.
Lots of carbon, some acetone, and trace amounts of T-butyl mercaptan. We have acetone, a known accelerant, and samples of soot taken from every room in the spa. We've got a gas leak that looks to be the result of tampering. The drywall here has been ventilated to get around its natural fireproofing. And then there's this acetone residue over every inch of the place. Throw a muffin in the toaster oven at 450 degrees. Then just leave it in there without setting a timer. Sounds like a recipe for arson.
Hey there, it's Dr. Robbins. I just wanted to let you know I've completed the autopsy on your burn victim.
Ok. Bene ragazzi, il dottore ci ha chiamato dicendo che ha completato l'autopsia. Abbiamo analizzato tutto quello tranne questi calchi qua, perché noi dobbiamo trovare qualcosa che corrisponda. Andiamo dal dottore. Vediamo un po', mamma mia. Com'è conciata. Vabbè, parliamo.
Hey, Doc, we got your call.
All right, let's begin. Well, her bikini probably left no room for imagination, nor an ID, but I did collect her fingerprints and DNA for you.
Ok, abbiamo le impronte e il DNA della vittima.
Take a look at the third-degree burns on your victim's hands and face. You can probably tell that they were above the surface of the mud during the initial explosion and subsequent fire. In addition to the burns to her skin, she suffered thermal injury to her upper airway. She inhaled a substantial amount of smoke and hot gases from the fire. Carboxyhemoglobin levels in her blood exceeded 73%. Cause of death was suffocation due to carbon monoxide poisoning. In a fire that intense, carbon monoxide levels would spike rapidly. She probably fell unconscious pretty quick. Most likely, she slipped under the mud after losing consciousness. Time of death is going to be difficult to determine. Even without the fire, the initial temperature of the mud bath complicates my ability to offer an accurate estimate. I was able to extract samples of the vitreous humor from both eyes. Potassium accumulation in the tissue indicates time of death between 3 and 4 a.m.
That's consistent with when the fire started.
Not exactly, but take a look at this bruising on her. Does that look like a handprint to you?
Yeah. Looks like someone grabbed her pretty hard.
In the coloration of the bruising, I'd say it occurred at least 6 to 12 hours prior to death. I certainly find no indication she was lying in that mud over a prolonged period of time.
We need to get a photo of those bruises. My camera's memory card is full. You mind documenting this one?
I'll wait.
Ok, facciamo la foto al livido.
Nice composition.
Ok.
Mate, your victim had advanced mesothelioma. It's a type of cancer that attacks the lining of the vital organs. It's thought to be caused most often by exposure to asbestos. It looks as though it was an ongoing problem for her. I discovered indications of a pleurectomy, the removal of the outermost lining of the lungs. From the scar tissue, that surgery probably took place a few years ago. She may have thought she was out of the woods. Unfortunately, I found an active malignancy in her pericardium, the lining of her heart. She didn't have long to live.
You know, we found some asbestos at the crime scene. The whole ceiling was coated with it. There was even a corner of the break room where it had come down. You don't suppose our victim set the fire, do you? Revenge and suicide all in one? We'll have to ask Brass if she filed any kind of complaint.
Well, the pleurectomy obviously suggests at one point she knew she had cancer. But there's no way to know whether she was aware it had recently metastasized to her heart. I ran an expanded tox screen. She hadn't been taking any cancer medications, and I didn't find any tissue damage from possible radiation treatments. I did, however, find evidence of a persistent, dare I say, habitual use of cannabis. You know, a Harvard Medical School study concluded that one of the active chemicals in marijuana, THC, may in fact inhibit the growth of certain tumor classifications, even though it says right there in the press release that the growth of some other tumors might actually be accelerated by THC. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest, right? So now the idea that weed cures cancer is spreading far and wide. Anytime.
Ok, allora ragazzi, adesso dobbiamo andare da Brass, perché tanto anzi, possiamo andare prima a vedere al laboratorio se la nostra vittima ha un nome, se è schedata o no, perché non sappiamo neanche come si chiama.
Our victim is not an APIS.
Ok, quindi non è schedata. Dobbiamo andare da Brass per chiedere se si può convocare il tizio di prima, adesso non mi viene in mente come si chiama, ma cioè adesso comparirà, eccolo qui. Pete Baxa, possiamo convocare per interrogarlo?
You have enough evidence?
Not really.
Then the best thing you can do is to get him to volunteer to come in.
Ok. Allora dobbiamo andare a parlargli gentilmente e chiedere di seguirci, sempre se vorrà.
Looks like Mr. Baja isn't here, but we could always knock.
Ok, bussiamo.
No answer. No answer.
Allora, dunque, dobbiamo analizzare qualcos'altro. Ah, è vero, c'è questo qua, il DNA della vittima. Allora, torniamo un attimo al laboratorio. Perché dobbiamo metterlo nel database.
She's not in CODIS.
Non è neanche qua.
Jane Doe doesn't seem to be in the system. Maybe Pete Baja knows her.
Ecco, infatti. Ho saltato questo piccolo passaggio. Adesso se andiamo lì dovremmo trovarlo. E infatti vedete che prima il cartello qua sulla porta non c'era? Cioè vuol dire prima c'era, adesso non c'è più. Eccolo qua.
Oh, hey, Tu. I just got back. What do you need?
We found an unidentified female victim in one of the mud baths at the spa.
God, Portia, no. Portia Wiseman, she's the manager of the spa. She's the only other one we keep. Just the thought that she might have been in there when it went up. I'm sorry, it's just horrible.
Viene con
We
noi?
can't be sure who she is until we get a positive identification.
Of course. Let me lock up here. Oh, Portia. No. What were you doing in there?
Actually, we were hoping you could help us shed some light on that. Would you mind answering a few more questions?
Sure.
Ok, facciamogli qualche domanda. Ricordiamo, non abbiamo per adesso nessuna prova contro di lui. Allora, chiediamo l'indirizzo di casa.
She's not in the phone book. I looked.
Oh, yes, I know where she lived. Let me write it down for you. Never got the chance to visit her. Here you go. So, I hate to ask, but is that everything you need from me right now? I have to come up with something to tell the board about why I let the insurance run out. And I can't really focus on that while I'm here.
I think we have what we need for now. You'll be at the barber shop if we need you?
I may have some errands to run, but I will be there for some time today, for sure.
Ok. Vabbè.
Had she mentioned any kind of health problems or filed any sort of complaint against your company?
No, nothing like that. Why?
She had mesothelioma, a type of cancer caused by asbestos.
That's horrible, but what does it have to do with my company? I don't know anything about any asbestos.
Ah, questo dice che non c'entra niente con l'amianto, mo ti sistemo io. Puoi prendere in giro chiunque, ma non prendi per il culo me. Facciamogli vedere questo qua, amianto proveniente dal soffitto.
The ceiling of the spa is coated with asbestos lace paint.
Really? I guess I'll have to take your word for it. You really think Portia got cancer from working at the spa? Well, she never said anything to me about it.
Think back. Did she ever seem unusually angry or depressed?
Well, we weren't exactly close, but I got the feeling she was in a troubled relationship. Little things here and there, really.
Such as?
One Friday, I asked her if she had any fun plans for the weekend. Not really, she said. Just hanging out with a boyfriend. She said it like it was a root canal or something. It wasn't just that. I think he hit her.
Why do you think that he hit her?
Well, Portia always seemed to like showing off her body. I even had to ask her once to wear more than just her bikini to work. But one week, a while back, I can't remember exactly when, she wore long-sleeve shirts every day, and she seemed depressed. When I asked her about it, she gave me some lame excuse about needing to do laundry. But when she thought I wasn't looking, I saw her rub her arm and wince. Well, Portia was a very private person. I know almost nothing about her boyfriend, except what I was able to infer.
Was the spa making money?
Sure. I mean, it can always get better, right? But it was profitable.
Is there anyone you can think of who might have had a reason to start the fire at the spa?
No. I mean, who blows up a spa?
Va bene, allora abbiamo finito tutto con lui. Abbiamo tutte le prove analizzate e adesso dobbiamo andare a casa della vittima. Ecco qua, appartamento della vittima. C'è qualcuno lì? Chi è questo?
Las Vegas Crime Lab, drop the weapon now!
Driver's license says Brian Reed. You mind telling us why you were in Portia Weissman's apartment, Mr. Reed?
It's my girlfriend's apartment. Well, ex-girlfriend as of yesterday.
Do you break into all your ex-girlfriends' apartments?
What? No, I didn't break in. I have a key.
Come on, the door was bashed open and you were standing there with a sledgehammer.
The door was busted in when I got there, so I grabbed the tool just in case the guy who broke in was still hanging around. Hey, just call Portia. She's angry with me, but she'll back me up. A fire? Oh, God. Is she okay?
Unfortunately, Miss Weissman never made it out of the mud bath.
You mean it can't be?
Mr. Reed, we're sorry for your loss.
A fire.
So were you tying up loose ends after you torched the spa?
What? That's crazy. The only loose ends I was tying up were my toothbrush and an extra pair of underwear. And now you tell me she's gone and you're acting like I had something to do with it?
Mr. Reed, Brian, we have no evidence implicating you right now. And we know it must be a shock to hear about Portia. We need your help to figure out what happened to her. I hope you can understand why we want to know the reason you were standing there with that thing.
Sure, yeah, I can see how it looks. But really, it's just like I told you. I stopped by to pick up my stuff, yeah, including the hammer, and the door was broken open. I grabbed the tool for protection on the way inside. It was just inside the door. I wasn't there for more than a minute before you two showed up.
You mentioned that as of yesterday, you and Portia were no longer together. Was this a mutual decision? Or did Portia break up with you?
No, I broke it off with her. Her drug problem was getting in the way. Weed. She knew I couldn't. She knew I had a problem with it, but she kept putting it in my face. But maybe she'd still be alive. Oh, God.
Did you hit her?
Hit her? No, absolutely not. I would never hurt her.
Ah, non gli hai mai fatto del male? Anche questo mi prende per il sedere. No, no, bello mio. Non mi prendi anche tu per il culo.
Yeah, okay, you really got me there. Come on.
We meant to show you something else, right?
Ho sbagliato prova. Era questo. I lividi.
Come on, Brian, I get it. She got a little out of line, right? So you had to shake a little sense into her.
It wasn't like that. She just, liked it a little rough sometimes. Well, it's not really my kind of thing, but she made it worth my while.
Cancer patients are sometimes prescribed medicinal marijuana to help them cope with the side effects of treatment.
Cancer? Well, that may have started a habit, but her cancer's been in remission for years.
The autopsy found mesothelioma in the lining of her heart. She didn't have long.
But she never told... I didn't know. She never told me.
Can anyone verify your location between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.?
I don't think so, no. I was at home hanging out with my buddy Jack for most of the night. But by then, Jack was gone, and I was pretty much passed out on my couch.
Can your buddy Jack confirm your story?
Well, I try not to ask the bottle too many questions. People look at me funny.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
Living? I'm kind of between jobs right now. I'm looking for something in construction, but I'm not having a lot of luck. I do have a couple of leads, though, so ask me in a week, maybe.
We might have some more questions for you soon. Would you mind waiting?
I might as well. You probably won't get much out of me once I have a chance to start drinking.
Jim, could you do a background check on Brian Reed?
I called it in on the way over. I'll let you know what turns up.
Let's head back to Portia Weissman's apartment. Maybe there's some evidence there that can link the break-in to the fire.
Ok, siamo qui all'appartamento. Oh, guardate qua. Qui c'è già una bella prova. Facciamo una bella foto.
We need to find a shoe that matches this impression. It's made out of some kind of dirt. We should get a sample.
Ok, pigliamo anche un campione di questa terra.
If we can link the shoe impression to someone, then this dirt might tell us where he's been.
Ok. La maniglia qua è stata... La serratura è stata forzata. Un bel calco.
Some of the marks here are thin and straight, but some are circular, just like the holes in the drywall at the spot.
Ok. Ah, fan bagno, ho sbagliato tasto. Allora, qui c'è una bella mazza da prendere.
This isn't just a hammer. It looks like something off a fire truck.
Hey, I read a background on Brian Reed. Turns out that up until last week, he was a captain with the Las Vegas Fire Department. The battalion chief told me Reed had a mixed service record, multiple commendations for bravery, but the guy was also on probation for insubordination. Well, when Reed failed a random drug test last week for the use of cannabis, they fired him.
This reminds me. The notorious serial arsonist John Leonard Orr was both a fire captain and an arson investigator.
Ok, il fidanzato è stato il vigile del fuoco. Infatti quella è una mazza da vigili del fuoco. Allora, vediamo un po' qui cos'è che c'è.
Storing something in the broiler pan. Guess it's a little late to warn Portia about the fire hazard.
Ok, un bel documento.
Dates and dollar amounts. looks like a record of the spa's finances.
Ok, poi vediamo un attimo una cosa. Se ci sono impronte digitali. Ok, non mi pare che non ci sia niente. No, la mazza è pulita. Oh, qui c'è qualcosa.
A black hair pulled out at the root. Portia was a blonde, and Brian Reed has red hair. Someone else was here.
Eh sì, c'è stato qualcun altro. La vittima è bionda, il fidanzato ha i capelli rossi e questo è un cappello nero. Vediamo un po' qui.
The case is open, and the hard drive is missing.
Ah, manca il disco fisso al computer. Qui non c'è più niente da prendere, no, perché mi sa che abbiamo... Infatti, vedete, abbiamo preso tutti gli indizi. Ora andiamo ad analizzare i nuovi indizi che abbiamo preso. Allora, vediamo. Ok, il DNA che abbiamo preso dal capello non corrisponde a nessuno, quindi significa che non è, diciamo, schedato. Allora, sostanza chimica, vediamo questo che roba è invece. Quella trovata dall'impronta della scarpa.
It's largely made up of feldspar, clinopyroxene, and acetone. The minerals are found in volcanic ash, which is what they used to make the mud for the baths. Acetone was the accelerant used at the spa.
Ok. Adesso andiamo al microscopio. Analisi dei documenti. No, niente, ho sbagliato. Allora, prove. No, non è questo. Confronto macroscopico. Allora, dunque, con l'ascia.
The axe head matches the thin slashes, and the hammer side matches the bigger holes. This tool, or one very similar to it, was used to ventilate the drywall of the spa.
Poi
Brian Reed's Denver tool can match to the markings on Portia Weissman's door.
ok, anche i segni sulla porta sono identici. No, ho sbagliato. Allora, questa è l'impronta della scarpa, ma dobbiamo trovarne una che gli assomiglia. Allora, vediamo adesso come siamo messi con le prove, cosa manca da analizzare. Questo documento, l'impronta, il cappello che non sappiamo di chi è. Allora, vediamo se c'è qualche indizio qua. No. Ok, andiamo a fare domande al nostro caro bel vigile del fuoco.
I'll meet you down there. Mr. Reed, or should I call you Captain Reed?
Not anymore. I'm no longer with the Las Vegas Fire Department.
I bet you've seen a lot of buildings burn, and I bet you know a lot of ways to light them up.
You know something, buddy? You are way the hell out of line. I devoted my life to jumping into the flames and saving people. And I lost friends in those buildings I've seen burn. So for you to sit there and insinuate that I may be an arsonist is the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me. And Portia? You think I set Portia on fire? I mean, I don't know what kind of animals you people have to deal with, but that's not me.
Being a firefighter was obviously very important to you. So it must have hurt to lose that.
Yeah, well, they were just looking for an excuse. I was actually trying to keep my head down.
You were on probation.
It was a tenement fire in the Alphabets. Battalion chief thought the place was coming down. Ordered me not to go back in. You'd think I might earn a little slack for telling the boss to piss off, but let me save a room full of kids. And again, if I'd stopped at piss off, maybe I would've.
Wasn't Portia the one with the drug problem?
Yeah, it was her problem, and she's the reason I got fired. Portia made pot brownies. Now, she says she didn't dose me intentionally, but she did leave the damn things right where I would find them, and she didn't tell me what they were. I ate 3 of them. I could barely get out of bed for like a day and a half. I don't know how anyone can stand that stuff. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Happy Monday, go pee in a cup. I dumped her because she got me fired from a job I loved.
It's a firefighting tool, isn't it?
It's called a Denver tool. Firefighters use it for getting into and out of places.
Places like apartments?
Only if they're on fire.
We think you used your Denver tool to break Portia's door in.
I told you I got a key. Look, take it if you need it.
Allora, lei ha fatto irruzione nell'appartamento. Ecco qua, segni dell'ascia.
You see those marks? They line up perfectly with your Denver tool.
Mine or anybody else's. Even if it was a Denver tool, no firefighter did that. If I really wanted to bring that door down, I'd pry the hinges off. The last thing I'd do is hack at it like a maniac.
The fire was set by someone with the knowledge to burn that building to the ground.
I don't care what you say. I would never start a fire.
No, bello mio. Basta con il per
The
culo.
was ventilated with a Denver tool.
Well, it wasn't my Denver tool. Anybody can buy one on the internet. Even Portia had one.
Why did Portia have a Denver tool?
She took mine. She wanted it for protection. Said it creeped her out to be alone in that place all day.
By that place, do you mean the spa?
Yeah, she had hers at the spa.
Know something? You're right. There are a lot of other Denver tools floating around out there. But in this case, I really only think there's one I need to worry about. And it belongs to you. You followed Portia to the spa. And when she was nice and relaxed in her mud bath, you torched the place. Then you went back to her apartment to get your things, and a few of her things too. And then you tried to disappear. Bet you figured, hey, if it looks like a break-in, then no one will suspect the boyfriend who's already got a key to the place. And that might have worked for you too. But you forgot to light a fire under yourself. You were still standing right there when we rolled up.
Captain, I respect the police. I really do. I know what it's like to go out there every day and put it all on the line. And I know you're just doing your job. But if you can look me straight in the eye and really hear what I'm saying to you, and yet still believe that I could do this to Portia, then I feel very, very sorry for you, because you're not qualified to carry that badge. Now, are you really going to arrest me, or what?
No, we're not going to arrest you, Brian. But we'd appreciate if you could hold tight here for a while.
All right, I will. For now. And like I said, I'm happy to answer your questions, but no more finger pointing, or I'm done.
We understand. Thank you. You said that Portia spent hours alone at the spa. How often did she do that?
Just about every day. You know, there were times I started to believe that place might be some sort of front.
A front?
Yeah, you know, for money laundering. Portia was convinced, and she was keeping her own records. She told me that place wasn't making a dime.
Did anyone else know Portia was keeping financial records?
I think she might have mentioned it to a boss, which seemed like the wrong guy to talk to about it, but she trusted him. At least she did. But after she talked to him, she got all paranoid. Ended up hiding all the papers in the broiler drawer. I thought she was just high. Hey, you guys looking at him for this?
Thanks for sticking around.
No problem. I'll be waiting.
Ok, allora adesso andiamo a chiacchierare con il nostro caro amico Baxa per chiedergli alcune cose, in quanto non può essere convocato perché non abbiamo indizi su di lui.
Hi. Sorry, I was shaving. Cut myself. What can I do for you?
Portia Weissman owned a firefighting tool. She kept it at the spa for security. Have you seen it?
No. She had some kind of weapon at the spa? That's totally against company policy.
We'll be back.
Looking forward to it.
Ok. Bene ragazzi, il nostro caro amico Baxa ci ha regalato un buon indizio. Ha buttato via un fazzoletto
Good catch. That should contain a workable sample.
con un campione di sangue. Prima ci ha regalato le impronte, ora ci regala un campione del suo DNA. Bravissimo. Ecco cosa vuol dire collaborare con la polizia. Oh, che cacchio è? Non me lo fai... Ah, eccolo qua. Dai, che me l'aveva dato. Ok. Vediamo questa roba qua.
Pete Baja's DNA, ready for processing.
Ok, e adesso andiamo al laboratorio. Allora. Bene, allora. No, oh. Ah no, cazzo, è sbagliato. C'ha ragione lui. Allora, questo va... qui. E infatti. Eh sì ragazzi, lui è entrato nell'appartamento e aveva detto che non era mai entrato,
Baja was in Portia Weissman's apartment, even though he told us he'd never been there.
How's the arson case?
Ecco Catherine.
Is your decorated fireman still applying soap there?
I'm not so sure now. He's got an answer for everything. And what I thought was the best evidence we had against him, his firefighting tool, well, it doesn't actually provide us with anything conclusive. On top of that, the spa's owner, Pete Baja, lied to us about never visiting the victim's apartment.
All right. Well, talk to Brass. See if he can help you take a closer look at this, Mr. Baja.
All right. You're down here already. I was just going to call you. This is Special Agent Gene Huntby of the FBI. It seems your case may be crossing into his jurisdiction. Agent Huntby, why don't I let you explain the situation to them?
Thank you, Captain Brass. It's my understanding your prime suspect in the arson fire at the Super La Spa is Pedro Baja. Is my information correct?
We're looking at him for the arson and a homicide. A young woman by the name of Portia Weissman died in the fire.
Is that right? Well, let me explain why I'm here. Are you familiar with La Reina de la Colina? Unfortunately, as a member of law enforcement, you should be. In Spanish, it means the Queen of the Hive, and it's the alias for a woman named Beatriz Salazar, now the most dangerous drug lord in Mexico. We believe Pedro Baja was in her employ.
Okay. So is this the part where you tell us to back off Mr. Baja and let you do your job?
No, Ms. Seidel, not at all. I want you to get your man. I want you to get him so bad he'll have no choice but to cut a deal. You see, in the entire universe of La Reina de la Colmena's drug trafficking operation, Baja's just a satellite, a small-time money launderer through those little shops of his. But for some reason, we have him on wiretaps in direct communication with Salazar. The taps themselves are useless because Baja and Salazar communicate in code, referring to things like family, weather, whatever. But why she's talking to him directly instead of through an intermediary, I have no idea. But it's that direct connection that means, if we can bring down Baja, then we have our best shot yet at taking down the Queen of the Hive herself.
Agent Huntby has requested the opportunity to keep tabs on us for a while, and run this one as a joint jurisdiction.
You do your thing, I'll do mine.
Ok, quindi questo Baxa fa parte di questa banda di spacciatori di droga. Va bene. Allora, abbiamo il mandato, Basti ci ha dato il mandato per perquisire il salone.
It's like he's still not here. No answer.
Allora abbiamo sbagliato qualcosa, ragazzi. Ah, è vero, che pirla, non gliel'abbiamo chiesto. Ce ne siamo andati senza chiederglielo. Cioè, il gioco ci ha detto un mandato disponibile, però dobbiamo chiederglielo. Ah, vediamo se questo ci possiamo parlare con lui, con l'agente dell'FBI. No, allora. Mi serve un mandato per il salone.
Based on what evidence?
Beh, abbiamo trovato il DNA di Baxa nell'appartamento della vittima.
Baja said he'd never been in Portia Weitzman's apartment. His DNA in that apartment will get you your warrant.
Ok, adesso sì.
Bob, Las Vegas police, open up. Looks like he's not here. Guess we'll have to execute the warrant without him. Score one for the lockpick gun. Always cleaner than breaking up the battery, man.
Ok. Bene, possiamo entrare. Anzi, prima vediamo se c'è qualcosa da prendere qua davanti. No, niente, ok. Allora, vediamo un po'.
Looks like an empty financial or legal portfolio with the SPY's logo on it. Those records we found in the Vic's oven are just the kind you'd keep in a binder like this.
Ok. Poi, questa roba qua.
These are blueberry muffins. They look almost edible and flammable.
L'hard disk, eccolo qui, l'hard disk del computer della vittima.
The hard disk isn't screwed in. It might just be new, but the Vic's PC was missing a hard drive. We can figure it out back at the lab.
Ok, poi nei cassetti qua non si può vedere se c'è qualcosa, no. Allora andiamo a vedere qua. Cos'è che c'è qui?
These tax forms claim that Sucrola Spa was highly profitable.
Ok. Andiamo qua nello sgabuzzino. Ecco le scarpe.
You can tell a lot about a person from the kind of shoes they wear.
Ok.
You can tell a lot more if you forensically examine their shoes.
Poi l'acetone.
I wonder why they need so much acetone. The place is a little too masculine for manicures.
Ok. Ragazzi, il taglio, guardate qui le forbici.
These shears are made for cutting pipes, and we have a severed gas line to account for.
Vediamo un attimo cosa, le impronte. Ecco qua.
It's a pretty full print. Good clarity on the sample, too.
Allora, ci sono un paio di cose da fare. Allora, per prima cosa esaminiamo questo.
I would expect that to be Pete Baja's fingerprint, since we found the ledger in his office.
Ok, non c'è nient'altro da prendere qua, mi sa. Però, vedo che c'è ancora qualcosa da prendere qui. Poi, le scarpe. Allora, c'è della terra da prendere qua.
Looks like some kind of dried mud.
Sa che queste sono le scarpe che cerchiamo. Allora, no, ho sbagliato, non devo prendere questo, devo prendere quest'altro. Altra impronta digitale.
Just where someone would hold a shoe when putting it on.
Ok. Abbiamo trovato un bel po' di indizi, L'acetone, vediamo un po'. No, non ci sono impronte. Va bene, allora abbiamo preso tutto quello che ci serve, anche se comunque non ci ha dato luogo per... Ah, ecco qua ragazzi, guardate qua cosa c'è, C'è la mazza, un'altra, ecco il luogo perquisito. L'ascia uguale a quella del vigile del fuoco. Adesso noi la analizziamo. Ecco qua, qui cosa c'è? Un'altra bella impronta.
tell us who handled this tool.
Qui c'è una roba rossa. No, non ci sono altri indizi. Ok. Bene, allora adesso abbiamo un bel po' di indizi da controllare, quindi andiamo al laboratorio. Però ragazzi, devo interrompere qua la live, quindi poi nel prossimo video riprenderemo da questo punto, perché adesso che vado nel laboratorio ci sarà il salvataggio automatico. Eccolo qua, vedete, salvataggio in corso. Ok. Bene amici, io interrompo qua la live, grazie per avermi seguito, mi raccomando, commentate, mettete mi piace, iscrivetevi al canale. Dal vostro amico Anthony, un saluto a tutti e alla prossima. Ciao ragazzi!